Dungeons & Drimbus is rated R for rude language, rough violence, and raunchy humor.
I do declare, here's what happened previously on Dungeons & Drimbus. As the attorneys prepared to sign up for the trials to join the soldiers of the solstice, Viper gets a disturbing call from Lucky. Realizing something is wrong, they spring into action to remove everyone's chips. But due to an unfortunate accident, Richard's explodes. Jessica leaves hers behind in the astral plane, and Thomas barely survives his death rolls. Stunned and in shock, the attorneys decide where to go next. Gary stormed off to join up for the trials on his own, until Jessica heads over to join him, unwilling to let him go through it alone. One by one, the attorneys join up in line, deciding to go through the trials together as the moon begins to rise in the sky. I do declare, Your Honor is back in session.
As the sun sets, a chill comes over the desert and the moon begins to rise up into the sky. Sometime later, Viper, you feel your communicator buzz, and a voice speaks. I am outside.
And she takes a deep breath, looks around at the others very quietly. She just says, "Be right out, sir." She's not going to announce anything. She's just going to start to walk.
Barb would just like to note that.
Yeah.
I think Barb is going to follow her for, once she at least goes down the stairs, then she'll start to make her way very quietly, not to, alarm her or alarm anyone else.
Okay, give me a stealth check and we'll see if it beats Viper's passive perception.
Probably won't, but, that is a 21.
That does pass. We can say that Viper is just on edge, so she's not as perceptive.
You head down. As you do, Viper and consequently Barbara, you are very careful to not wake the adventurers who are sleeping on the floor beneath. And Viper, you step out and off of the tower and see nothing. There is just sand and, of course, the various encampments around you as the teams rest and prepare for the first trials. Barbara, I'm guessing since Viper has just stepped out, you're probably still on the stairs, a little further behind.
Yeah, exactly.
But you are seeing kind of the same thing. You're not seeing anything immediate as you see Viper step out. Then, Viper, as you take a few steps forward, you suddenly find yourself within a bubble. You see that you have entered a dome of pulsing light blue energy around you that seems to obscure sound and sight from the outside world.
Oh, fuck.
Barbara, you see Viper essentially disappear as she steps forward.
Oh, no.
In the center of the dome, Viper, is Blue. His large orb seems to peer at you as he stands, tall, and donning a cloak that hangs off one shoulder, swaying in the night breeze.
Miss Hale.
Sir?
How many of them still live?
Less than should be. Sir, forgive me, but where is the justice in execution without investigation of the events that occurred?
Is Miss Feltcher still in your possession? My sensors indicate the chip is no longer in this realm.
Yes, she is.
Miss Hale.
Sir?
I understand my actions may be viewed as unsavory by someone with your attachments, but the group of individuals with which you travel are unknown variables. This is what I warned of on your last visit to lab. Good or bad, Jessica Feltcher, Barbara, Monique Valentine, Thomas Phelps, and Richard Edgeworth are volatile agents of entropy, lawless and entropic paracausal entity reconnaissance. As an agent of LEP, Viper Hale, you are sworn to investigate and adjudicate such entities.
Indeed. Might I ask what led to your choice to execute them? We are dealing with a dangerous organization. They fought at our side. It was not their negligence or their actions that led to the very unfortunate death of Tyrannicus. We were on the same side. I was there and I saw everything. And sir, had you been successful in eradicating all of them, you would have cost us our mission to take down this organization, because I cannot do it by myself. Forgive me, but I simply cannot understand the choice to take out most of the team that is working towards taking down an evil. No matter if they're variable or not, we have a common enemy. I feel so deeply that we are close here to making real progress. And you almost just cost us that.
You see he stands, and normally you can see people processing, but being the kind of warforged he is, where he does not have the human equivalent of a face and just has this blue orb floating where a head would be, you just kind of see the light within the orb swirling, and you're not sure if he's considering what you're saying, you're not sure if he's scrutinizing you. It is a very intimidating thing to experience, especially when you, as an agent, have almost never interacted with the head of this organization. Viper?
Yes.
Please roll for opening statement.
Oh, fuck.
Give me a flat d20 plus
Okay.
2.
Oh shit, non-natural 20.
Miss Hale, they have already cost us the life of one valued team member, lest you forget. I was hesitant to allow this at all. Your assurances, Tyrannicus's assurances, were the only reason this was even considered. Tell me now that they are not incalculable. Tell me now that they do not possess inordinate potential to do harm to the realm.
In essence, I suppose I cannot. But it is not so black and white. We are going to have casualties. Were they not there, I probably would have been lost as well, sir. And then you would be down 2 agents that knew the most about this mission. And respectfully, my mission was to investigate and subsequently take down the LLC with Tyrannicus. That is what we are doing. If we judged everyone on the powers they possess, the mistakes they may have made in the past, you would probably choose to kill everyone. Because I do not know a single soul that is not without the possibility of doing some kind of harm, big or small. But the good they have the possibility to do in continuing to assist to take down this organization is immeasurable.
Barbara, what are you doing in the meantime as you have seen Viper disappear out of existence?
She's like moving her head around, and her eyes are like changing different colors to be like, maybe she just like, I don't know, like lost sight real quick. Like she's like blinking, like she's like rubbing. She's like, am I on drugs? Like what's going on? Honestly, I think Bob would go outside.
And Viper, as you are finishing your statement, you suddenly get pushed forward a little bit as Barbara accidentally bumps into you, and Barbara enters this cone.
Sorry.
Oh.
Barbara.
Oh.
Hi, Barbara.
Viper, hi.
Hello.
Blue, really great to see you again.
Again, he kind of stands, you see the energy swirls. It's kind of like when you see Siri processing a request, the little like icon like going like...
Oh, how I miss those swirls.
He actually holds out a hand and he says,
Likewise.
And Barb will shake it. Firm grasp, you hear me? Firm, all right?
give me a strength check.
You got it, I'm gonna break his arm.
Oh my god, could you imagine?
I'm just kidding. I can, and I don't want to do that. Oh, that's not great. That's a 12.
All right, it's decently firm.
It's decent. I'm surprised. I'm I was not expecting to see Blue. Really sorry to have interrupted here. I just, everyone else is basically asleep. I saw you
understand.
leave, and I just wanted to make sure you were okay. And then
of course, I understand.
You disappeared, and I was like, whoa, what?
I could imagine how that would be quite concerning. I understand.
Yeah. I can leave you to it.
Viper looks towards Blue's swirling orb.
I believe you are entitled to your own defense as much as anyone else.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're doing this again? No, yeah, okay. I can wait my turn if that...
Barbara, remind me, what is your main directive?
Blue, that would be to establish order.
And Warforged to Warforged. Tell me, How do you feel your party has done in that aim as of late?
Well, Blue, I mentioned this to you before. I feel like when we first had this conversation, I think established order is very broad. And if we're being completely frank, I was given that directive from Hagatha, and I'm sure her idea of establishing order is going to be quite different from, let's say, yours. But I do think the events that have occurred have been, I think, in the interest of the greater good, in the interest of you and LEP, and trying to do what we said we would do and take down the LLC.
How much does Barbara believe that?
I mean, objectively speaking, like at least 87%.
He seems to process this, and then the orb kind of like swivels ever so slightly to turn to Viper, even though it doesn't really have a front. But Viper, you hear.
This party, in every calculation, they move the needle. And in every calculation, the results of their actions differ wildly. How confident are you in the outcome?
Sir, I believe that if the LLC will be taken down at all, it will be at the hands of this party.
Do not misunderstand me, Miss Hale. I know the hardships you face as an agent in your position. You mentioned that they made the difference between your survival and Tyrannicus's. Do you think you would feel the same had you been supplied more agents from LEP? Is it truly unique to them, or were you simply outmanned?
That is a hypothetical, sir, that at the moment I can only guess. But I can tell you this. Tyrannicus was targeted by our enemy. And it was in his last moments that we were able to apprehend the culprit, who is currently on base. So I failed to understand how it was the actions of the people I was with that led to his death when he was deliberately targeted.
Their actions have catalyzed the movements of the LLC members. Activity has spiked significantly ever since they have come in contact with agents of LEP Recon.
To be honest, I don't think that it has to do with them coming into contact with us. I think it has to do with them leaving the LLC. I'm not going to pretend that they are perfect people. No offense, Barbara, of course. But if they wanted Tyrannicus, they probably were going to get him.
I have sympathy for your position, Miss Hale. I have sympathy for Mr. Jangle's position. But do not underestimate me when you speak of realities.
I understand, sir, and I mean no disrespect.
My concern is not with the emotional cost, it is with the survival of this planet.
And so is mine, sir. I know that, objectively speaking, your actions are trying to prevent the destruction of the world. I understand that, sir. So are mine. Do not misunderstand me by my emotional reactions. I do have emotional attachments at this point, but that is not the basis of my argument. Your goal is to prevent the destruction of the world, and if you remember, sir, we mentioned the threat of Tiamat rising looming over the world as we know it, which was the argument for Thomas Phelps to continue to live as Bahamut lives within him. Were he gone, Bahamut would be too, and there would be no one to oppose Tiamat were she to rise.
Again, he processes and then speaks. This almost feels like a general query to the room at this point, but he says,
Agatha, Brunt, Rodriguez, Thistle, Figglesbottom. 5 entities of extraordinary power with enough forces, cunning, and coordination to overwhelm anything but the most precisely mounted defenses this planet can muster. Our interrogation of Reginald and Lucky's reports indicate overzealous natures, ambition, know-how, heightened emotions, a cocktail of chaos. Do you truly intend to convince LEP that introducing 4 more agents displaying similarly reactive qualities will have any manner of reliable, quantifiable positive effect on the crisis Almericia is facing?
In the time that we have left you, my life has been saved more than once, and their actions have shown that their heart is in this fight. They want to take down this organization, and that makes for a pretty damn good cocktail in the grand scheme of things. I honestly think that they have been invaluable in my mission.
Barbara?
I guess if it weren't us, who else is it gonna be? Do you trust anyone enough that have you run those numbers enough times? Is there anyone that can be so objective as to just go and do the job and then go home? Are you gonna do it? I mean, you came this far, you might as well stick around, help us out. If it's not us, who's it gonna be, Blue?
Please roll for cross-examination, +4.
14 plus 4 is 18.
Okay.
In an ideal world, what gives you the best opportunity to succeed?
To not have our own side interfering and dwindling our numbers, sir. We need to be united against this enemy. In an ideal world, I would have support of the organization I'm from. Undying support. I may not come home to my family, sir. And if I don't have the support of the agency that sent me, what do I have but the people that I am with now?
Barbara?
I mean, to succeed, ideally, we just wouldn't have a problem in the first place. So.
Very well.
Roll for closing statements, +1.
16.
You have two choices. 1.
And it becomes very clear immediately that he is speaking directly to Viper.
Eliminate or apprehend your party members for the good of Ulmericia. You will lead LEP's efforts to thwart the LLC. You will be supplied with more men than you currently have. 2. Remain with them. You may carry on as you were, but you will be released from your position at LEP.
With all due respect, sir, I don't feel as though the agency is moving in a direction I want to continue to be a part of. If my support is conditional, then I will remain with my party.
You were hired to do a job, Miss Hale. This is not a family. I have never pretended it was. We provide support as we see fit. That said, I respect your ambitions. Lucky will remain your contact. He will be the only member of LEP who you will be able to contact. Please update us as it becomes relevant.
And he holds a hand out, and you feel something like vibrating in your head almost, and you hear the communicator kind of like static and then fizzle.
Understood, sir.
Miss Hale,
Sir.
your desire to give yourself meaning through acts of good has always been apparent. It made you an efficient agent. You were hungry to earn your right to be seen. Regardless of where or who you came from, you have earned that right tenfold. I pray your companions do not squander the work you have done.
Thank you, sir.
And he leaves.
What? He just goes?
As soon as he leaves, Barbara can see that, Viper has been holding in anxiety and just starts kind of hyperventilating and crying a little bit.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, damn it. I had words for him. Okay. All right. Take a breath, Viper. Take a breath. Well, try to take a breath. I see you clearly trying to take a breath. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I didn't tell you where I was going.
No, you technically don't have to do anything. It's okay.
I was afraid that if Blue saw the people he was trying to eradicate, that it would make matters worse.
No, I agree with you. You were acting in the interest of the group, and I appreciate that. I know you weren't probably expecting for all that to happen right now.
I mean, I knew something was going to. I guess I just didn't know how I would feel during it.
Yeah, we're gonna figure this part out. We're gonna fucking win, because that's just what we do.
Indeed.
We're gonna be okay. I think we're gonna.
I think so too. What do you suggest we tell the others? I don't know if saying all of it will help with the camaraderie that has been built up since earlier this day.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to lie, you know?
Of course.
Perhaps we tell them in the morning?
Oh, yeah. Definitely not tonight. Enough action for one night. They can rest. And I think once we're up, you can toss in there, hey, by the way, no longer associated with LEP. Short, sweet, to the point.
I'm worried about the reactions because I feel as though that was the only reason that Gary was okay. I don't want to make assumptions of what the reaction will be, but
yeah, no.
I do think that the promise of support from a large organization did help turn his hand.
Definitely. Well, I guess we can either be honest or we can lie. Well, I guess not say anything until someone asks a question.
Right. I guess there is no news, in a sense, as far as what our mission is or what we will do next. The plan is still the plan.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I forgot to ask if he could return Kit.
And at this point, the blue energy suddenly dissipates. And you see, not far from the tower, Blue is still there. It appears he has just dropped the spell. As you see, a couple of feet in front of him are a glowing Tony and Popcorn. Not like levitating or anything, but their eyes are glowing and their manes are glowing, and they seem to be staring very pointedly at him.
Oh no, I don't need to argue for the existence of our horses right now, man.
Viper, just stay here. Vibe, stay here really quick.
Please be careful, Barbara, please.
Yeah. Barbara's gonna run over to Blue.
Apologies, I intended to allow you to converse in private for as long as you needed. Your animals seem concerned.
Well, they are pointedly looking at you.
Yeah, you walk up and like you see Tony kind of like instinctively goes to nuzzle against you, Barbara, but then also kind of like recoils away from you, almost as if like he remembers.
Yeah, that's a valid. Good to see you too, but that's a valid reaction.
He draws a little middle finger in the sand with a hoof.
What the?
Yeah, okay, all right. Hey, your skills have gotten really good there. That I gotta say.
They have. You remember the one they left for you in the snow, and it looked like a middle schooler drawing one. Now this one has like all the fingers, like the proportions look good. Like
They went to college for this.
He's
They
been
went to art school.
practicing.
Gary's been working overtime to pay that tuition.
Looks good. Charming as ever. You waiting for the moon, or
No.
so you just like to stand in the middle of the desert? I'm not trying to. I'm sorry. I don't.
This is your opportunity, Barbara.
I actually had to ask you a question. I actually had to ask you something.
I'm aware.
Well, I guess seeing as we are no longer associated with LEP, I don't know if you already knew, but Haggy did try. Hagatha did try, or did, I guess, contact me before we came here. And
the swirling speeds up a little bit.
yeah. No, hey, that's how my chest feels. So same twinsies. I haven't obviously. I didn't respond, and I told the rest of the group. The group knows. Everyone knows. But being that, I guess Warforged to Warforged once again. I can't say I wasn't inclined to go. Obviously, and I you come and ask me about my directive again, and that just brought me back to that. And now I'm just worried that if we do see her, because when we see her, because we're going to, I don't know how I'm going to respond. I don't know how I'm going to act, and I want to act just for the better of my party. And now I don't know if I can do that. Honestly, before that whole mini trial happened, I was gonna offer myself up for the rest of them and ask you to run the numbers without me in it, and maybe it would have been better. Maybe the chances would have been so much better. I don't know. I want to know what you think I should do.
Barbara, you are a valuable asset. Where is this fear born from? What is it that you truly fear?
Well, I guess originally my fear was to disappoint Hagatha, and then now that I'm more associated with another group, I guess it'd be to disappoint them.
Does your directive weigh on you?
I mean, of course it does. I mean, I didn't know that at first when I obviously didn't think much of it, but now that I've been here, I feel like everything's changed. Everything that I know has altered because of these people. And they're good people. They're solid people. They're not perfect people, but they're doing their best. They're trying so hard for something, and I just don't know if I'll be able to ultimately commit to that.
Your directive. I do not know if it truly was given to you by this Hagatha. And even if it were, it is merely an idea. What separates the Warforged from any other automaton is the ability to interpret. The only person who can interpret your directive is you. You are in control, and you have a potential beyond what you realize. If and when this is over, I would like to invite you to realize the depths of your potential.
Bob, doesn't say anything. She'll just look at the swirl. Slowly but surely, she'll just start to nod her head. And once again, hold out her hand, as he did earlier, to shake his. Hopefully he'll take it. If he doesn't, this will be really awkward.
He shakes your hand with a slightly firmer grip than you did earlier.
Jerk.
And
You ain't gotta show off.
and says,
I truly hope that I get to see what you can do.
and then he will turn and begin to walk off into the desert.
Okay. Her hands are like at her sides now. And she's like, okay, that was okay. Okay. And she's gonna turn around and walk back towards Viper.
Yeah, at this point, Tony and Popcorn have nuzzled up to Viper, seeing that they're in distress.
And you can see, Barb, that the snakes are all like droopier than usual. Slithers and Monty, the two that frame her face, are trying to like tongue flick the tears off of her cheeks.
Let's get through these. Let's get through the trials, and then we can.
Right. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you for standing up for us and believing in whatever the hell it is we're trying to do. So,
I didn't say a single word that wasn't true. I mean that. I was fucking terrified saying them. But
yeah, no, hey, I don't blame you. Blue's a scary guy. Like, what is up with that? And the swirling is so intimidating. It's
I know.
like-
I felt like my heart was going to just like jump from my chest and land on him, splat in some way. But
yeah, no, I mean, hey, you look great. You did great.
Thank
you. Held
you.
your own.
I
you put
appreciate
your fucking
that.
foot down, and
Yeah.
that takes a lot.
well, it wasn't without some consequences. But I'm glad the consequences are mine to bear and not the group's. You know?
Yeah, sure, but just know the group is still going to support you no matter what. Okay,
Thank you.
of course.
Well, time to sneak back upstairs.
Yeah, let's. You get some rest. We got a big day.
You too. Good night, Barbara.
Good night, bye.
And with that, you head to bed.
We're halfway there. This is the halftime ad with Daddy G.
Oh, hey. Hey, gang. Oh, sorry. Give me a sec to catch my breath. Oh, this is Daddy G coming to you live from halfway up a trail that's just way too long. Whew. So, my date didn't go half bad. The hike was fun, conversation was good, and well, we decided we needed just a little more adventure. Just kick it up half a notch. But, turns out I'm used to a very different kind of adventure. Anywho, my date's off taking a leak behind a big old tree, so I gotta make this quick. All this adventuring got me thinking about some of my favorite adventures. TTRPGs. I mean, who doesn't love a great session full of improbable victories and shocking failures? The ups and downs of leaving fate up to a half-cocked plan and the roll of the dice. Lately, I've been loving playtesting Mischief, the Drimbus-designed, fast-paced, narrative-first, chaos-infused RPG. Not only is it available to everyone at patreon.com/Drimbus, but top patrons get to play in one-shots with the Drimbus cast. Not to mention, it's just the best way to support the show so we keep getting new and exciting episodes of Drimbus. The games are a real blast, and I'm hoping if the rest of this hike goes well, we might be able to hang out for a session. I know. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it's just been a great time. Aside from feeling like my lungs are halfway to bursting. Oh, I think I hear leaves rustling, so real quick, let's thank those beautiful patrons who make Drimbus possible. Big ol' thank you to Jerry Benetatos, Queso Loco, Greta and Beignet, Alex Capes My Ass, Ace Andrews, Regina Russell, Sam Olivos, Jordan Cobb, The Unnamed Rogue, NB Star, Doubtful Guest, Michael Richters, Davis Walden, Denny Dewdrop, Myth Mouse, Callie Wolf, Brandon M. Bishop, Bridge, Twiglets, Joanna, Stan Sitzman, Scrambles, The Death Dealer, Aaron Adams, Nathan Mesner, Ruth Anaros, Carrie Holmes, Melissa Rain, Sensational, Butts Aplenty, Uvular Nutria, Dane Colhoff, Loon, Faust the Heavenly Demonic Monster, David Carlton, Lord Braxton Von Wendell III, Tracy Baby, Waffle Marine, Elastic Band, Hoodie Gang Sheep, Doobie Daddy, Luke Vermin, MV Carr, Chris McGann, Vico Cocorico, Mary Weeg, Alyssa Barron, and Jan. Thank you all so much, and oh shit, gotta go. Damn, now I gotta go.
As morning comes around, you all awake to the sound of a war horn blaring at the first hint of dawn.
So it begins.
Oh.
Gary whips the blanket off, stands up.
Naked?
Completely nude.
Grisabeth was like cuddling you, and you like shoot up, and she like falls to the floor. She's like, "Ow! God, Mr. Mogbile, what the fuck?"
It's time.
I live.
Yeah, we just see Thomas like reassemble in the morning as the war horns are blaring, just like.
I love that.
But as you all are in for this rude awakening, you hear a voice that reverberates and carries out into all the encampments.
Good morning, applicants.
Gazing out the window of the tower, you see all the orcs are once again lined up along the top of the pyramid. Saxon Brunt and the older woman remain seated as one of the younger orcs, Levi, who you recognize from the sign-ups yesterday, speaks.
And welcome to the first day of the trials. We look forward to testing your mettle. Today's proceedings will be simple. We will call squadrons in one by one to enter the chamber. If you come out the other end, you will have made the cut. May you find your way.
The war horns blare again, and he steps away from the speaking platform.
It's a cut program. Damn it.
You see Monique, who is running the pendaggers along the bricks of the tower, like trying to use it as a whetstone, and has carved out like jagged edges onto it. But she looks over her shoulder and says, "Viper, I thought you said Blue was coming."
He did.
And?
And, we will continue our mission as planned.
All right. And she keeps running the blade along the stones. Eventually, another one of the younger orcs steps up, and you hear,
We may now open the chamber.
Suddenly, the sand rumbles. The tower buzzes and buckles as, toward the part in the castle walls, you see a massive hole appearing. Where there once was flat sand, you now see a descending ramp that leads to some subterranean arena.
That's so cool.
The orc speaks up again.
Squadrons 1 through 25 are now online. Let the testing commence.
You see squadrons rushing to take their place in line, as the first squadron, a group of skeletons, steps down into the dark depths of the arena.
Viper will sit and she'll milk her snakes, and then if time permits further, coat some more of her throwing knives.
Okay, yeah, you have plenty of time.
And I'll offer if anyone else has a weapon they wish to coat as well.
Yeah, Grisabeth comes up and she's like, "Oh, please, could you coat my bolts, please?"
Oh, of course, yes. And Viper does that pretty quickly.
Angelina, let's warm up outside. Get you ready.
Okay, let's go. She stretches, you hear like so many bones crack in her tiny body, just like Oh, wait. Thomas, Paul, would you like to come warm up with us, honey?
Thank you. I would.
Okay. Grisabeth gives you a look, Gary, assuming that you're probably scowling.
Yep.
Yeah. She just kind of smiles at you and then heads down outside.
Anyone else want some poison?
Yeah, I would love to put some on these scimitars, please.
Of course. And she will do so.
Meanwhile, outside, Gary, the moment you open the door, you see Tony and Popcorn are there, slightly floating off the ground, manes fired up, and it's almost as if they forgot something, and you see Tony going,
What is it, pal?
He points to, like, the arena, and then points to himself.
You wanna
come with us?
They nod their heads yes.
Aww.
Yeah.
You think we could do a last minute sign up? I'm gonna go see. Let's go. Let's see if we can get you guys in there.
Tony begins to trot, but his hooves aren't really touching the sand next to you. As Gary steps out of the tower, and then Grisabeth steps out, and we see Thomas step out. Popcorn comes up and kind of gives you a hug, Thomas. He puts his head under your elbow to nuzzle up against you.
Do you want to come to Popcorn?
He nods his head yes, and then licks your face.
Okay. Yes. All right. Let's get him signed up.
He kind of leans down as if offering you a seat upon his back.
I'll sit. Thank you.
Okay. Gary, where are you going?
Is that front desk?
Sign-up table's gone. Right now what you're seeing is the orc who you just heard speaking, who said we may now open the chamber, standing at the ramp, it seems like letting people pass through. And at this point, it's been a couple of minutes, all of you are waking up, you're getting ready. The first group, the group of skeletons has gone in, and then you just see flames shoot out of these torches planted around the Sandstone Palace encampment. And then, Gary, you from far away see the orc allow another group forward.
Wow.
Did we see anything come out?
Were the flames shooting outward? Was it ceremonially?
Yeah, up into the sky, as if to signify
for a second,
something.
I thought you just see flames just in the arena, and I was like, oh, okay.
It's almost like the flames are coming from out of the ground up into the sky, and they blare with the horn as well.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. You know what? What am I thinking? They're not gonna expect a horse to sign a paper. You guys should be fine.
Okay. And Grisabeth goes, okay, I'm ready to warm up. Let's go. And you see she loads a crossbow bolt. She goes, where the dummies, huh? And she's aiming the crossbow all over the place.
Well, we don't have dummies. And try not to use the poison bullets.
Shall we do? And she pinches your cheek.
Anyway, well, since we have Mr. Paul here, maybe you have any spells you can do, set up some targets for her to shoot at?
You talking to me?
Yeah, you're Paul, right?
Yes. What do you mean set up targets?
What kind of magic do you have, prestidigitation?
My uncle died. Why are you putting me to work?
Oh, not the dead Uncle Carl.
Well, maybe if you hadn't gone on this weird experiment letting serial killers run around
hey,
doing
look
the
at that.
work
There's
for you.
actually a desert bird flying overhead. Let's aim at that. And Grisabeth shoots a crossbow bolt. I don't know if I actually got to say it myself, Mr. Paul. My condolences. And then the bolt comes flying straight down and lands an inch away from Grisabeth.
Oh my god!
Thank you, Grisabeth. You have a lot.
Honey, watch where you're aiming, Christ!
Well, maybe if you were helping me instead of picking a fight with our teammates, I would have hit the bird.
Precisely. Here,
not.
Grisabeth, just aim.
You
aim with
started
your hips.
this.
Aim with your hips.
Hips! Get out of here.
She shoves.
Hips!
She shoves her fingers in your mouths, just to shut you up. Okay, we are gonna get along. For every insult or every time we raise our voices, we're gonna put a gold in the angry jar, okay? And she pulls out a little container, and she goes, okay, both of you pay up.
Wow, we're gonna be rich. That's great.
When did I raise my voice, Grisabeth? When did I raise my voice?
And about a minute ago. Go ahead, put it in.
What did I say? What did I say when I raised my voice?
Well, I can't tell because I don't speak shout.
Yeah, fine. Take a gold. Don't spend it all at once.
Gary?
I put a gold in the jar.
Thank you.
Good man.
I'm writing down in my journal, angry jar, and I'm going to keep track of that. Ooh, maybe I can go on vacation after we save the world.
Definitely can.
You and
yeah, me and Cal, we're gonna take a little cruise down the Pasiphae River.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just stay home and do all the work.
Oh, how sweet of you, Gary. My
That's
goodness.
that's very nice, Gary. I'm sure our home in Greenbarrow needs a lot of sweeping. We haven't been there in a while.
We're not. That's We're not going back there.
Oh, way to be such a downer. Oh my god. Look, let's just shoot that bird over there.
No bird is safe with Grisabeth.
I don't know what comes over her. Mommy mode activates, and she holds a crossbow out with one extended arm and shoots it, and you see it spears the bird through the heart and falls down.
Jeez.
Very good, honey.
Yeah. Cast that bonfire thing.
He casts a bomb. He just waves a hand and casts it.
Yeah, he grabs it. She pulls out a small, hunting knife and immediately cuts the neck off and begins flaying the bird and preparing to cook. She goes, okay, that's enough practice for me for today. I'm going to make us some breakfast, maybe a really early lunch, a little brunch moment, and you guys do whatever you want to do.
Okay.
And I guess you spend the rest of the morning warming up with Thomas.
Jessica's focused on doing stretches and things and going through the spell book. She also, as she woke up, knelt down at her bedroll. Mm-hmm. She closed her eyes and she said, hello, Bahamut. I know that you don't really know me all that much. I don't know how much Thomas has spoken of me, but I would just like to reach out and say hi. I'm Jessica. It was lovely to meet you the other day. That was intense. And, seeing is believing, as they say, So if it comes to it, could you help more than just Thomas?
Get your own legendary dragon. Back off.
Hey, you're not here, Paul.
So that would be great. Amen. I don't know what they say. I read that somewhere in some fictional book somewhere. I'm not sure what they say.
So, Jessica, as you pray, it's hard to say whether you feel really anything. This is a foreign practice to you.
Oh, very.
And so it's very much like you reaching out on a limb. But having seen Bahamut, knowing he's real, having seen his power, and also, I'm not going to say relieving or letting go of, but perhaps acknowledging the weight of some of the things you've done and the actions that you are now taking to attempt to somehow balance those scales, you feel just the slightest stirring in you. Almost like the feeling you get when you know that someone is looking at you. Like just a gaze of confirmation. As Jessica takes one level in Cleric.
Heck yeah.
Do you unlock anything new?
I do. I get a couple of Cleric cantrips as well as a couple Cleric spells.
Yeah.
Including Cure Wounds, baby!
Yay!
No more dying! As long as I don't die. Which is still a very real possibility.
You finish the prayer in a questionable amen, and as you pull your hands away, you feel like the magic that naturally courses through you, which tends to be purplish or greenish in color. And as you look at your hands, you see that purpley color has the slightest streaks of silvery blue running through it now.
Love that.
You all spend the day preparing. Grisabeth eventually comes up with some roast bird for everyone to share. You all munch. You guys warm up. You go through kind of your little training drills. You pray. You milk your snakes, etc., etc., etc. Throughout the vast majority of the day, we're getting to mid-afternoon now. You see that people enter the darkness of the chamber. And then every now and then, it's not always, you see flames blast out as the war horn blares.
Is that a bad flame or a good flame? I cannot tell.
At this point, you hear the orc from earlier go, Squadrons 200 through 225 are now online.
All right, time to go.
Oh, golly, okay.
Viper will start making her way.
I assume you're all heading, yes?
Oh, yeah. Following along.
Yeah.
You get in line behind 3 other squadrons. As you do, Grisabeth turns to you, Gary, and she goes, oh, sweetie, I love you so much. You know that, right?
Oh, God, no. I don't want to hear this. This sounds...
Yes.
This I mean, I like hearing it. I like hearing love, but this
Definitely sounds bad. It sounds bad. It sounds like God's plan.
I don't know. I get nervous sometimes. I just wanted to let you know that I love you. I feel like I don't say it
Maybe she
enough.
just needs reassurance. It's okay. That could be a thing, too.
we're all whispering directly behind them. We're literally standing directly behind them.
You know what? Yes, she turns around. Yes, I need a little reassurance, but that's not helping.
Okay,
Sorry, so sorry.
No, you're gonna do great. We love you too.
You're amazing. You got poison under the bolts, baby.
Tony and Popcorn had also leaned in. They weren't saying anything, but they were doing like a gossipy lean in. And when Grisabeth reprimands them, Tony like awkwardly puts a hoof on her shoulder.
Sis.
Having heard this and the slight commotion, just a little bit of a show, the squadron ahead of you, consisting of a dwarven woman and what appears to be a slender elven ghost, turn to face you. The dwarf says, "Oh, another married couple come to compete?" Looking at Gary and Grisabeth.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. My husband's a little bit of a grump. Hi, yes, I'm Angelina. This is Eli. Oh, hi, I'm Justina. This is Winnie. A pleasure to meet you. Oh, likewise. Hello.
And you all are just staring at this dwarf and ghost.
It's our first time. Sorry.
Just awkwardly swinging his arms.
Oh, it's quite all right. We're used to it.
The ghost says.
You often enter combat sports together?
Oh, yes, we are. Well, she's the love of my life. Or unlife, I suppose. We've been adventuring together since we were wee girls. Didn't want to let a silly little thing like death stop us, so here we are.
Very inspirational, actually, that you can make that work. I love that.
So are you able to eat and drink, or?
Oh, heavens
Not
no,
really.
I dearly miss the corporeal pleasures.
Me too.
Well. Oh, are you also here to try and reverse what happened to you?
Well, that would be nice. Is that a possibility?
Well, I don't know. It's all hearsay, but I've heard that the commander can make a lot happen for the soldiers of the solstice, so we figured it was worth a shot.
You don't
If
say.
not, we'll at least get a good story out of it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Anywho, I'm so sorry. I feel like I intruded. I created an awkward energy. Just,
No.
We just didn't expect.
We're an awkward group.
We're just trying to get our heads together for whatever the hell's about to happen.
You're a ghost. How? You can't
Yes.
lose, technically.
Well,
Right?
I can, but the odds are definitely stacked in my favor.
Oh, are you on our team? Can we have him on our team?
I believe you've already signed up, dearie, or at least I hope you have.
Yeah, I think they signed up already, Thomas.
You see Jessica almost flinch at the use of the word dearie.
All right, well, we're going to collect ourselves and get ready, but best of luck. What is it they say? May you find your way.
Right. Hopefully, we'll see you on the other side. I didn't mean for that to be as ominous as it sounded. It was meant to be encouraging.
Oh, no. It's quite all right. We hope to
All
see
right,
you on
yeah.
the other side as well.
Great.
Finally, you see they step forward and they await their turn in line. You see the young orc standing guard at the entrance, and he's backed by a number of the soldiers in gold armor. This orc wears ponce, a large open maroon leather duster coat, cut-off shorts, and 2 glowing clubs hanging from a thick belt.
Oh my.
At this point, he ushers Justina and Winnie ahead as Squadron 202, and you guys step forward, and he says, Squadron 203.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. He references a document, then goes silent for a couple of minutes as you wait, and a few minutes later, you see flames blast out of the various torches surrounding the arena.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Is that a good sign or a bad sign?
It's not
you
good or
allowed to tell me?
bad, it just is.
Oh, there isn't a reason? It's just kind of random when the fire happens? It just hasn't happened
Yeah.
every time, is...
Well, it's clearing the chamber
That's what I assume.
when someone,
Oh, okay.
fails.
I see.
Wow.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification. I just was curious.
Yep. And then he looks at his paper and he says, actually, proceed. May you find your way.
Thank you.
Cheers.
And may you find your way too. Under his light. Jessica is
Oh my god.
still not sure how this whole thing should work for her.
As Jess starts walking away, Barb is gonna catch him, but Jess be like, "What the fuck was that? Who are you Who under whose light? What are you talking about?
The light of Bahamut.
Gary scoffs. Ugh.
What do you mean? You've never. Are you okay?
I'm just. Ever since we saw Thomas really become Bahamut yesterday, I don't know. I feel something kind of overcame me.
Okay, now I could say, get your own legendary dragon.
Gary just out loud goes, ha!
Oh, okay. Wow. Well, I guess I won't be calling on Bahamut to save your ass today, Gary.
You can't call Bahamut. I call Bahamut.
I mean, she can still call. She can still pray to Bahamut. She can.
Isn't it a good thing for Bahamut to? Because
doesn't he need more followers? Isn't that what you're here to? Isn't that literally your purpose in life, Thomas?
Thomas, as you're hearing this and you're having this argument, your rage is causing you physical damage, but every time Jessica says something about Bahamut, the damage is being negated.
That is such a inner turmoil, inner conflict.
Oh my god.
You can pray to Bahamut, just don't get any ideas is what I'm saying. My dragon.
I don't plan to turn into a dragon, okay?
We have 50 other squadrons to get through today. Could you please keep it moving?
Oh, yes, sorry.
I thought we were doing a walk and talk.
Yeah.
A West Wing style walk and talk.
A walk and bicker, the good old...
I just thought it'd be funnier if you were just stopped right here arguing in front of everyone.
That is pretty funny, yeah.
That is also funny.
He's shouting at you. He's shouting at you from across.
I just thought it'd be funnier.
You should teach it improv.
You should teach improv. Have you heard of Commedia? You'd be great at it.
I'm more of a devised theater guy myself, but okay, I'll try.
All right, it's really time to go.
All right, time to die or something.
This has been Your Honor. Your Honor features the vocal talents of Nicholas Benetatos as Gary Mogbile, Amanda Fernandez-Acosta as Barbara, Nicholas Palazzo as Thomas Phelps, Michael Pisani as Jessica Feltcher, and Hannah Schooner as Viper. The rest of the world is voiced by your DM, Giancarlo Herrera, with editing by Hannah Schooner and Giancarlo Herrera, and sound design by Giancarlo Herrera. If you'd like to support the show, consider checking out the links in the show notes, or go to patreon.com/Drimbus, where you can get access to hours of bonus content, exclusive merch, the chance to play with the crew, or submit items to the show, or have NPCs named after you. Oh, and don't forget to leave a review or make a post using #Drimbus to be entered for the chance to win a free Dungeons & Drimbus sticker. Thank you all so much for listening, and I do declare we'll see you all next week.